Ford making such a commitment into racing now?
Racing is if it's part of your product story, if it's part of your marketing strategy, is still the fastest way to get the story across, provided, you know, you got the same stuff coming into the showrooms, and that's really what it is. The dealers love it. So that's
far, since you're head of SVO, how far does Ford want to go, or what direction does Ford want to take as far as their development in racing?
Well, the first step will be pretty closely related to production cars, or at least the kind of technology we are trying to get into the showrooms. As I said before, the new GTP car will be a very advanced, in terms of technology, a very advanced car, but it'll feature the same kind of mainstream items like we have in our new car: small displacement engines, turbocharging, emphasis on aerodynamics, very good handling, and that's about the approach we have towards road racing. NASCAR is a totally...
Winning Le Mans, is that...
Winning Le Mans is surely not out of the question, but we first have to make an impact in the United States. This is where we have lost most, you know, and... well, with people like you, Bruce...
well, we try to keep the name out there, you know? Apple pie, ice cream, Bruce Jenner and Ford. Yeah, no, ready. I gotta take a peek.
Yeah, right.
Would rather have me play Scrabble today than race a car. Maybe, I don't know. I'm used to winning, but also I grew up, people always think of that because you won the Olympic Games that you never lost a competition before that, but that's not the case. I've lost many thousands of times in the past. You learn how to accept defeat.
What's up, guys? Tim Allside with DragBoss Garage, man. Welcome back for another mind-blowing episode because it just gets better. You saw the Jack Roush mystery motor blown out of the water. Now we know it's a Tony Oddo racing engine, $14,000 in 1984, and that was sold used. So now, I made that video. Thanks guys for watching it. I'm trying to answer all the comments and questions, but I got done posting that video, and next thing I know, I was getting messages and texts from people. They said, you got to see this. And I said, well, let's see what you got. We wouldn't know any of this information unless it was for Lee Cooper. So thanks, Lee Cooper. Big shout out to you, and also you, Tony Oddo Jr. So here's how it works. Brian Fedigan messaged me on Facebook. Now he owns a shop called MX Restoration. He says, hey, I got to tell you something, DragBoss. I watched that car race at Watkins Glen in, like, I think he said 83 or 84. And I said, you got to be kidding me. How do you know it was that car? And they started talking about it and said that it was so fast, nothing could even come close. And I heard that, I was pretty impressed. And he said that this is the part that it's kind of like strange, is the fact that Bruce Jenner was a driver for this car when it was owned by Brooks Racing. Now, Brooks Racing is in Salinas, California. So Brian sends me these pictures. You'll see him here while we're talking. It's just amazing, you know. I like how it says, have you ever driven a Ford lately? And there's some pictures. And if you look at that engine, it looks like this. The valve covers are for sure. And you can see they're just painted with different stickers. Brian said that the car, he saw it racing. I don't know if it was a Watkins Glen, but the thing dropped a cylinder. He said they ended up bringing it into the pits, made it run on 7 cylinders, went back out, and came in second, racing on 7 cylinders with this engine right here. Pics that came from Motor Trend magazine. I'll throw the date up here. Tony Oddo texted me and he said, hey, Tim, that's who had the car, Brooks Racing, and that's the Mustang there. It was raced by Bruce Jenner and John Bauer. And I'm like, okay. So that was the Ford IMSA Mustang, you know, with the side flares and all that. Now, here's the funny thing about it. Tony told me, and here's pictures now, that this engine had a sister engine, number 544, built the exact way as this engine, number 548. Now, what's going to blow you away is the documentation that Tony Oddo Engines, TOE Performance Products, has with documentation. Here's all the pictures of the engine, what it looked like inside. Now, I looked in there with a scope and I didn't see these type of pistons. I think they've been changed, but I don't know. Can't say. But now I can see that here they drilled a block so they could mount the oil pump down here. You'll see the other pictures. I'll put a picture in there. You know, that's a great modification for a Cleveland block for external wet sump or dry sump. Now, there's some other pictures of an intake. Not sure. He said it was on the T-Bird. To me, that looks like a torquer. Comment on that. Comment about that T-Bird engine. I'll put another picture of it up. I swear it's the same engine as this. The valve covers have the same AN fittings here. You can see the welded areas here. So it's so cool to find this out. And so many guys are so pumped about this because it's like a mystery that is unraveling in front of us. It's being solved right now in front of us. You know, the guy that I got this from, we'll call him Joe, told me that he couldn't find any information on this. He just didn't know. He thought the guy that had told him said it was a Roush motor because of the stickers. And it came from Michigan, so I don't really know how all that came to play, but I'll tell you this. He did tell me that he looked at it up in his storage facility, we'll say, and he thinks he's got the oil pump for this, the water pump, the whole rest of the motor. Be nice if we had a complete engine. Now, I'll tell you this, too. I talked to him about, he's been buying parts for a long time, and he wants me to come up and maybe look at his stash. I mean, he's got all brand new intakes for FEs, ton of FE parts, all the dual 4-barrel intakes they had, those cool intakes, high riser intakes, high riser heads, tons of all old Ford muscle parts. I'm going to go up there and make a video because he thinks he might do some liquidating maybe. I don't know. Now to close, I'll kind of give you some more information. Check this out. You see that front end? Yeah, that's the front end from the car that this was raced in. my buddy Todd Fuchs bought the front end from Meyer Racing in like 85 or 86, put it on this car and was going to do some racing with this. Then he got married and sold the car. But it's just interesting to see that this one engine has so much history with everybody. And that I can bring this kind of history to you so you can enjoy the legend of the Ford 351 Cleveland, because it is a legend. And I'm going to start blowing that legend out of the water. Trust me on that. Here's a little heads up. Now, back to the point. So what are we going to do with this? Well, I kind of got a plan in mind, and I've talked to the person, but I don't know. We're going to leave it at that. I don't know. If you're not sure, just say I don't know. That's what I tell my kids. And then like I tell you guys, you're always seeing and learning something new at DragBoss Garage. And I try to carry that mantra through the videos I produce and make for you, because I enjoy making them as much as you like checking them out. So stay tuned to DBG or DragBoss Garage, because you know what? Knowledge is power. And with that, you're unstoppable. Stay tuned.